So hello, my friends. I hope you people are fine, and I hope you people have learned the concept from my previous video that I have made from chapter 8, that is motion chapter for grade 9. And now I have brought new video for you just to explain you the next chapter, that is force and laws of motion. This is a part 1. In part 1, we will cover first law of motion. So let's start now. Before that, let's just see what do you mean by force. Force, what is a force? Whenever you push anything, whenever you pull anything, whenever you're bringing any change in the body, or you are trying to bring any change in the body in terms of its speed, direction, the shape, motion. So what you call it, it is force. Not necessarily that you are bringing for, you can say change, but if you're trying to bring change also, then also it is force. So, and we use force in our daily life. We push the thing, we twist the thing, press the thing, lift the thing, and so many things. So force is, we are using in our daily life as well. Now, what are the effects of force? What changes you can bring because of force when you apply force? If an object is at rest, if you want to make it move, what do you have to do? You have to apply force. If an object is moving, you want to stop it, then again you have to apply force. You want to change the direction, speed, shape, size, anything, any change, either you have already brought the change or you are trying to bring the change, but for both the thing you have to apply force. So these are effects of force. Now force, what is that? This is a vector quantity, and as it is in a vector quantity, so it will depend not only on magnitude but also direction. And the symbol of force is F. The units which we use for a force, that is Newton. So what we have learned, this is very basic things what we have learned about force, definition and on units and all. Now balance forces. Now, there are two types of forces, that are balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Balanced forces. Now, first consider an example. You have an object. You have kept it on a table. The object is at rest. What do you think? There is no force applied on them? No. We have applied, there are the forces which can be applied on that object, but the resultant, the effect, the total effect of all the forces which are acting on that table, that is zero. And because of that reason, the object is kept at rest. So such forces which are applying on an object and whose resultant is coming zero, those forces are known as balanced forces. Now, what are the features, what are characteristics of such forces? These forces, they do not cause any change of state of an object. Why so? So the object is at rest. It doesn't show any motion. It doesn't show any change. They're equivalent. So the effect is zero. These are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. Whatever the forces you're applying, they will cancel out each other because of equal magnitude, and direction is opposite. Balance forces can change the shape and size of an object. For example, when you press a button. Yes, this is a way to understand. So if you just say, now what is again, like suppose if you have a balloon, then we will see that we will have, if we are applying force from both the sides, then we will bring the change in shape and size of the balloon, right? And if you take an example of dough also, so that depends, because there are some special cases also that we generally what we say, it doesn't bring any change, but if it is bringing any change also, what we have seen an example of balloon, so we can say the force, the changes has been applied from both the side, then we can say that these, then we can say that the change we can say in the shape, but we can say by the same effect. Now, unbalanced forces, simple. If the resultant of all the forces not equal to zero, it means it will show some change. It may change the speed, position, shape, size. So such forces are known as unbalanced forces. The motion in an object is a result of unbalanced forces, not balanced forces. Okay, now inertia. Now inertia word, when you do this chapter, you just get this word very first time. So what is inertia? Inertia, that is a, first of all, it is a quantity of mass. You can say the mass decide how much inertia will be there. If there is a heavy mass, heavy object, then we'll have more inertia. If we have lighter object, then it will have less inertia. So what is inertia? Actually, inertia is what that if you are like suppose if you people are sitting and you want to get up, right? So what do you have to do to bring the change? You were at rest and you want to get up now. So you want to change the state. What do you have to do? You have to apply force. If the same result you want in heavy object and the lighter object, obviously in a heavy object you need to apply more force because more inertia is there. More so what will happen, that inertia is what that is an inherent property of an object which doesn't want to bring change. But if still you want to bring the change, what you have to do? You have to apply some force to overcome that change. So if it is a heavy firm, we can say mass, then you need to apply more force to overcome that high inertia. If the object is lighter because of less mass, because of you can say less inertia, then you have to apply less force because that will help to overcome that inertia. But that should be enough. That should be enough that you can say that can overcome that object's inertia. That is important. So if you just make it out of ball and wooden table, ball is lighter one, wooden table is heavier one. So which will have more inertia? Wooden table. So you need to apply more force if you want to bring change in the state of wooden table. Car or truck? Truck. Why so? Because these objects have heavy mass, more inertia, more resistance. So more force you need to apply to bring change in such bodies. On the basis of this only, the first law of motion we can state. Now, how we can say that? And that's what is also known as law of inertia. Why now? I will just tell you the relation. What is that? Let's suppose we'll say, what is the statement of first law? First law states that if whatever the state of an object is having, that will be remaining until unless you are not compelled to change by applying force. The object will remain its existing state until unless you are not applying that much force which will require to bring that change. If you're applying force, you may able to bring change. If you're not, then the object will remain in existing state. If it is at rest, it will be at rest. If it is in uniform motion, it will be in uniform motion. Right? So to bring the change, something you need to apply force. That is what the statement of Newton's first law. And because it is what? Because as we have related with the term inertia also, because inertia, if it is more heavy object, more inertia, more force you need to apply, otherwise you will not able to do the object. So you can relate both the statements. So that's why the first law of motion is also known as law of inertia. That is also we may call it. Now applications where we see in journal, you need to feel means generally where you can see that. So first of all, let's understand inertia. There are three types of inertia. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Inertia of rest means what? Like suppose the example you can see that when you people are in motion, right? Let's just take an example of you can say inertia of you can say motion first. So if you're sitting in a car, the car is moving, what will happen? Then your body is also start moving because you are sitting in a car. You are a part of car now. So we are you can say in same system. Now suddenly if we have to apply brakes in car, what will happen? We feel jerk and we may bend forward direction. Why so? Because actually the problem is that what is the problem is that why we have the just push in forward direction. The reason was, if you people are sitting in a car, now your feet, the lower part of the body, it is in touch with the car you can say floor. Now if car stops, the lower part of the body, the feet will also stop, but the upper body part, it will still be in motion. Why so? In inertia of motion, because the object initially was in motion. So because of inertia, what will happen? Then it will take time, or we have to apply the force to overcome that inertia, or to overcome the inertia of motion. to you can say bring the balance and to come back to the existing position. So that's why we need to apply force. अगर हम नहीं करेंगे force, अगर हम सीट बेल्ट नहीं लगाएंगे जो हमारे को force लगा के हमें एक position पे adjust कराती है, या फिर हम खुद से नहीं संभलेंगे, what will happen? We may get hurt badly. That's what is advisable. We have to wear seat belts, because if sudden break or something like that happens, so it should be you can say for safety purposes. So that is an application. Let's see one more example. During inertia of motion, even when the car stops, the car also stops. You can say that the luggage of the top of, or the luggage on the top of car has a tendency to move forward. So why we are, when we keep the luggage on the floor, on the you can say roof of the car or bus, you can say, if suddenly the car or bus stop, or if it comes, so the same logic, the car or bus has been stopped, but the luggage, it was initially in the motion, because of inertia of motion, still in the motion, and it may, if it is not tied, if force is not applied to bring it at the same position, it may fall in forward direction. So these are the example. I will see that if you can say, let's example of inertia of rest also. Now, first example for inertia of motion. Now, inertia, like suppose if you have a carpet and you're hitting the carpet, what will happen? If you're hitting a carpet, the carpet is at rest initially. What is the initial position? Rest. Now you are beating carpet with a hard stick or something like that. The carpet will come in motion, but the dust particle, what are in there, they will be in inertia of rest, because initially they were in inertia of rest position. You can say they were at rest. So because of this inertia of, because of the initial state of whatever the thing, the rest or whatever, so that's why they will left behind, and the dust and carpet, they will be separated. And this is the technique how we can clean our carpet. Let's one more example. When the tree is shaken, again the tree is at rest, you are making it, you are just shaking it. What will happen? You are bringing the tree in motion to and fro, but the fruits, they will remain at rest, and because of the disbalance, because of this inertia of rest, the fruit may detach and they breaks off the tree. If you see, you can say that the direction, you people are sitting in a vehicle, in car or in a bus, it is going straight. Okay, the body is now in a state of straight line motion, but suddenly if you have to take a turn, especially the sharp turn, if you're taking, आपको एकदम से लेफ्ट राइट कहीं पे जाना है, तो हम एकदम से अगर टर्न करते हैं, so what will happen? The body of passenger will also wants to continue in the straight line, but what happened? The bus has been taken turn. So because of this disbalance, what will happen? We may fall, we may bend in mix, we can say sidewise, outwards. So that's why also we also have to, we should always wear seat belts, and such kind of precaution we should take always. So these are the examples of three types of inertia of, you can say 3 types of inertia: rest, motion, and direction. I hope you have understood the applications, the statement, inertia, and all, and will be going to help you for sure. So thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you soon. We'll meet you soon with another part of the same chapter, part B, in which we will explain second law of motion with some application. Till the time, take care and keep enjoying the videos, keep learning. Thank you so much, and don't forget to support.